BBN, what's going on, guys? This is the Loyal BBN Fan Show. We are here for a recruiting update for Caleb Wilson. Man, wouldn't it be a big thing to go ahead and get him? It's a lot of news floating around about him. So, hey, I brought in Jimmy. Jimmy tracks everything, and Jimmy's here today to tell us a little about what's going on with Wilson and his recruitment here at Kentucky. Jimmy, what's going on today, big guy?
Hey, just having a great day. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much, man. How was your Christmas?
Everything was great. I'm kind of glad it was over, but it was great to have all the holiday spirit, be with everybody. I think I had a little overdose on turkey and ham, but I'm good now.
That's all. That's a little overeating on the holidays is just what we do. So a little food is never a bad thing.
No.
It's never a bad thing. So Jimmy, so the news around right now is that Caleb. So anything I say, you can correct me. The news right now is that Caleb is supposed to commit in January. The news is that maybe people think he's already committed behind the scenes. Jimmy, what's going on with Caleb and what's this recruiting looking like so far?
Well, the thing is, I have kept up so much the last 3, 4, 5 days. I have heard the rumors that he is already committed. He has already signed his paperwork, ready to come to Kentucky. But if he did that, he had to do that in November during the early signing period of the basketball. So if he has done that, they have kept it very quiet, and the rumors are going around that it happened, but they had to do real good control to make sure that this didn't come out that it actually was the right news, or maybe it's just rumors. But
And if they did, with social media, with so much can get out here, and so much going on, it's so easy these days to have things leak. How does if it is true, and if he did sign, like how does the program go with keeping something that big on the hush hush?
that would be very hard for me, because if I knew I had Caleb Wilson that signed, committed, I would be running around smiling, going, just anything I could do just to have all kinds of attention to me that we got that done. But I could see if it was happening, I can see Pope keeping it on the down low. And I can see that Caleb Wilson, his parents, his father, everybody says, hey, nobody knows about this. We want it to go on till January. He wanted to maybe just watch a little bit of college basketball, get through the holidays, and then in January, let's go ahead and we'll make the announcement. And maybe it might be a big announcement on a big, stage of, different podcasts. It might be, with ESPN. It could be, anything like that.
Even with Kentucky already losing two games that clearly in both ball games, Kentucky was supposed to win that ball game. Would you say that at this particular point that it has to be something going on with who Coach Pope as a person, that despite losing these two ball games that we did, that recruits like Caleb still see something special in what Coach Pope has to offer?
Yes, I believe that is something that Caleb Wilson right now is understanding. This is a whole brand new team that Pope had to bring in 8, 9, 10 players from all over the country, put them together in Lexington, Kentucky, and try to make a team out of this. And then all of a sudden, he's okay. Yeah, we lost to Clemson. We got our butts handed to us against Ohio State.
Call it what it is.
We're still 10-2. We're going into a great SEC that every team in the SEC has to play the same kind of a schedule that we do. So no team is going to go through the SEC undefeated.
Absolutely.
And then with what Caleb has been watching, what Pope is doing, he knows that it's set up for this position for him to come in. He is watching, getting all kinds of feedback from his coaches, Mark Pope, watching the film, watching Kentucky play. He knows that when he gets there next year, 2025 is going to be a way different team than this team right now.
And a lot of that has to do with with Coach Pope and his staff. Coach Pope just keeping the team together for, as you just said, going across the country, putting together a whole team. Currently 10-2, and the SEC is going to be a dogfight every single night for every single team. And I'm pretty sure it helps when Caleb can come to Kentucky and play with the guys who have already committed to Kentucky. That's a recipe for success, and I feel like him coming to play alongside with Jasper and those guys, it's just gonna help Coach Pope to continue to build the program back up here at Kentucky to where it's supposed to be.
Yes, it's going to be a very special year next year. I mean, I know that Jasper, Hayden, Malachi Moreno, they are all just sitting back and watching what they're doing playing basketball. But they're watching this team. They're also talking amongst themselves on group chats and saying, hey, that's this what we're going to do, but it's going to be a different type of a game. It might be the same offense, but that he has a lot better players coming in, and these are going to be, instead of 3, 2, 3, 4 stars, they're going to be all 5-star players, and he will be able to mold them into the way that he wants his team to be next year.
And definitely, we're definitely not necessarily looking ahead to 2025 because we still got a lot of basketball to go this year. But I think a lot of people are giving Coach Pope that ability, that 2 to 3 year window to try to build the program back up. And if we can continue to have a successful year this year, we still got to play Brown. We still got to start off SEC play with Florida. I mean, if we can get off to the right start and win some ball games early, that's just going to build the excitement not only for the rest of this season, but the ability to see Coach Pope coach guys that are 5-star players that are probably going to be one and done players, and just to see what the Wildcats are going to do up under the leadership of Coach Pope and players like Wilson. I asked the question, how does that happen in 2024 of individuals being able to say, I'm gonna go to a certain school and keep it under the radar like they have so far, if that is indeed the case. And that's astounding because the other players like Jasper and those guys are probably already aware too, so those guys are probably keeping it under the radar as well. So I mean, the atmosphere, the way they doing things at Kentucky up under Coach Pope, I really like where it's going, and it's only going to get better as Coach Pope is at Kentucky a lot longer.
It's only going to get better. This system that Pope has, it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. The more time he has to be with some of these players. Look, he had the team he has right now, he had 3 months before they even got to, they did some practicing during the summer, but he didn't have one whole year to be with any of the players that it was on the roster. And the more time he gets to spend with these players on a roster, figuring out, getting into the gym, having even more conversations, sitting down, in his office, out in the, locker rooms, anywhere with they getting the conversations in, it's just going to make it a lot better. The more time he spends in Kentucky, the more comfortable and the better it's going to be for him, the coaching staff, and the players.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second. Do you think Caleb has already signed with Kentucky?
I would say that's a 95% chance that it's already signed and done deal.
Well, you know what? For a guy who watches, and if it's your first time watching, and if you never saw Jimmy, Jimmy watches these players from when they're a young age all the way up through high school. So I like to tell him that if this is a chance for Kentucky, or if Kentucky gets Caleb, like this is really special, because Jimmy puts in a lot of time following these guys, and to have them go from here up to Kentucky and sign, to him, hey, it's just let me enjoy the moment and next player up. But
Next
it's
player
always
up, yeah.
next player up. You know what I'm saying? It does. You know, we enjoy the moment. We celebrate. We take a deep breath, and then we get right back to recruiting business. So, you know, I applaud Jimmy for, you know what I'm saying, I told Jimmy before, I said, hey, man, you guys do what you do. You guys keep up with recruiting. That's a lot of work and a lot of time. So, well, Jimmy, man, I thank you for jumping on with me today, man. And look, hey, have they set a date yet? That's what I forgot to ask. Have they set any kind of date of him announcing?
No date yet. It's January for sure. I would say
Okay.
it's going to be the very beginning of January, within at least a week, week and a half. Just how they get everything set up and when he wants to go ahead and announce.
Man, I really hope that we get him. I think it's just something to signify that he knows what he's doing, and that he's going to find a way to win some basketball games. And it's just as we discussed earlier, it's just going to keep getting better at Kentucky. And, the players are going to increase on getting better, and Coach Pope is going to use his brilliance to you guys to maximize their talents and get the best out of them. And I think that's probably a reason why players are deciding to, even though they don't know Coach Pope, they can see what he's doing early right now, and they say, I'm going to give this guy a chance. And maybe we can hang number 9, number 10, number 11. As LeBron says, we're gonna give you number 9, we're gonna give you number 10, gonna give you number
number
11,
11.
all
Let's
of
go
that.
ahead and
So
get 12 while we're
exactly,
at
why not, bro?
UCLA.
And we should, and that's the goal right there, to be able to do that. So Jimmy, once again, man, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate it so much. Definitely look forward to seeing his announcement. Don't forget, man, hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it as well. Also on my page, don't forget to look for my new merch. There's a button on my page that you can press that'll take you right to the merch. I appreciate it. Thank you guys, and until next time, go Cats.